Hello, welcome to our Ask Me Anything with Jason Nodler and Tamarie Cooper, our fearless artistic directors at the Catastrophic Theatre. Thank you so much for joining us this Saturday afternoon. As you probably know, we announced our 2020-2021 season this week, which we're all very excited about. And so we thought maybe you might have some questions about that, but you're also welcome to ask us really, truly, Jason and Tamarie, anything about producing theater right now, about the theater in general, maybe some of the recordings that we've made available or Tamarie's show. So truly any burning questions you might have about our company, we are excited and happy to answer them. So I'm going to look at the chat, and which is where we invite you to drop some questions. So please go, I'll actually make a little note so you can see where you can do that.
Shayna, they can ask us things like our astrological sign, or
Absolutely.
like our favorite.
We're really
favorite
into
TV
astrology
show, you know,
at Catastrophic
anything.
Theatre. So that is definitely a topic we can cover today. But maybe do we want to start by just talking a little bit about what's going on at the theater? We have a few viewers, but no questions yet. So what do we want to start with?
Well, yeah, we can talk about our wonderful season. That's really exciting to us that we just announced. Jason and I started making theater a million years ago. What is it now, Jason? How many years?
27, I think, 1993. Right.
And
although we met when we were 14 and 15.
Yes. With this pandemic, it has really sort of made us return to our roots when we found ourselves suddenly without the resources and the traditional format that we've become used to now of how to present theater. We regrouped and basically are returning to sort of alternatives of presenting work, meaning that it will not be in a traditional interior theater space as much as we have loved those. This does call back to a time when we did shows on school buses and in bars and outside, and we'd rehearse in the street, and you'd have to like wait because a big truck was down the street outside of Commerce Street, and then you could go back and keep rehearsing. So there's something about that when we return to things like live theater outdoors that brings back memories for me. And we also have announced a season that is entirely new work, which is another thing that we started doing millions of years ago with local artists, with people that we love and that we work with. Jason, you got anything to say?
We've sort of, nobody's been here before, but we have, you know, some of this is in our roots. We, from the beginning, I guess we produced maybe 20 plays over 4 years before we were in anything approaching a traditional theater space. And that was when Diverse Works reached out to us to commission 3 new works from Infernal Bridegroom, or the prior company that Tamarie and I worked with. And it was like Hollywood was calling. Like, we had a light grid, we had air conditioning, we had bathrooms. I mean, we hadn't had any of this stuff before. And I remember that one of the sort of sad ironies of the site-specific work and working in non-traditional performance spaces was that whenever it was winter, we would do a play that required people to like be in their bathing suits, and when it was summer, they needed heavy coats and hats, and so it was poor planning on our part. So a lot of this is an opportunity to return to our roots. We were a DIY theater in the early 90s, and through all of Infernal Bridegroom's history, I would say that we were. We worked with local musicians a lot back then, and we're doing that a lot again. I mean, it's not like we ever really stopped doing that, but it's more of a priority now. And especially new writers that we're trying to encourage and nurture and grow. And we're working with such great writers already that they don't need a lot of encouragement, I don't think. We'll give it to them anyway. But we're very excited about the original work.
Yeah, we've got Greg Dean, who has been with us from the olden days, has created a wonderful screenplay for his play Heartstruck, Heart Play, not play, film. Sorry, see, switching gears, film. And he actually, when this all started to happen, I called Greg and I was like, Greg, trying to reinvent this. Like, we got to keep making art. We're not going to stop. A lot of people are pausing. I mean, some of them don't have a choice. They don't have the resources we have. They don't, as far as having people that are wonderful filmmakers who are part of our group of friends that make art with us. So we've got these opportunities, and I want us to keep doing stuff. Greg, what are you going to do? What do you want to do? And he's like, well, of course, I already have this script that I've been working on for the past 10 years, and I've fully storyboarded it and have, thought out every single moment. And this is, if you guys don't know Greg Dean, this is what Greg does. Like, when he gets off of work or he has some downtime, he doesn't watch The Real Housewives. He doesn't just like smoke out, and binge eat. No, he designs plays and sets and writes film scripts. So we were very lucky to have that already as a wonderful project. And it's very exciting. Summarize, what was the thing we said in our press release about that it's Cronenberg meeting with sort of silent film actors, right?
Yeah, I mean, Greg's aesthetic, I think, I mean, it's not like anyone else's. I'd say it's close to David Lynch's.
Yeah.
We don't, we do a lot of weird things. We do a lot of dark things, but we don't do anything that we don't find funny. And this film is very, very funny and very weird. And it's not Zoom theater. It's a professionally shot and edited. It's a short film.
It is.
And
I want to go ahead and put hats off right now to another wonderful friend of ours, Tim Thompson, who with his company Staging Solutions they're still doing my summer show, which is going on right now. Hey, everybody, check out Tamarie Cooper's 2020 quarantine edition. Second episode launched yesterday. We got another one coming up on the 28th. Just go to our website, go to Match, get your tickets. Had to do it.
I'll pay what you can.
I'll pay what you can. I'll pay what you can all the time. So Tim, not only is he producing my summer show right now, but he is also going to be filming and working with Greg to create Greg's film. And he's also going to be helping us with a lot of other cool projects we have coming up in this season, including new work by Candace DeMeza, which is also super cool and exciting to us. Candace has done a lot of work with Catastrophic, and I actually stumbled upon this because she had one small sample of this soon-to-be screenplay published in a literary journal, and she had posted it in social media, and I was just checking out what Candace had to say, because I always do. And it was amazing. So I called Jason and he read it. And then we talked to Candace, and she actually had much more.
I think you're stuck, Tamarie. Okay.
Strong, powerful voice. Oh.
Yeah, we lost most of that.
Shit.
So I read it, and it was great. And I'm not sure what Tamarie was saying when we couldn't hear her and she was frozen. But the idea is that it's 30 short plays about how to get free. And her voice as a writer is so wonderful. And she writes wonderfully as an actor might. So she really writes for actors. It's so exciting. She keeps turning in these new micro plays, and everyone's better than the last, I think. It's really wonderful.
It was wonderful kismet to stumble upon those at this moment, and then to have her be willing and excited to work with us as producers for this piece. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm not frozen. We're also doing live theater in this season. So one thing is Drama Squad. The Drama Squad has a vision I was thinking back to other times when there have been plagues, and back to the Elizabethan era where the actors couldn't perform in the theater, so they took to wagons and traveled the countryside, finding anyone that they could possibly do their theater for. So that was where the idea started. And we're not going to be in wagons. It's too hard to get around in Houston in wagons, but we will be Zooming in cars to people's actual homes, and you will have your own personal performance by a team of the drama squad. And this will be all original work with a lot of artists that have a lot of history of working with us. It's new work. It's another opportunity, as Jason discussed, of really championing and presenting a platform for upcoming writers, choreographers, puppeteers, magicians, all kinds of you know, it's shorter. It won't be a full evening because you don't probably want to stand in your yard for hours, but it's going to be unlike anything we've done. That is absolutely true. Jason wanted us to wear unitards and superhero costumes. I'm not sure that can happen because we are in Houston, and the thought of performing in the sunlight, in the unitard and the mask, not so sure. But we will be masked because all of these live performances, safety is still incredibly important, and we are putting in very strict guidelines on. If you are someone that wants to book a performance from the drama squad, we will be taking precautions, and we will also expect our audience to join us in this. We'll all have wonderful festive masks. And what else are we doing? Oh, of course, one we are working on bringing to you when it is safe to do so.
You froze again, Tamarie. We're resurrecting. Am I right, Shanna, that Tamarie's frozen?
Yeah, I think she was headed towards "We're Gonna Die" territory. Yes.
So we are bringing back one of our very favorite performances, plays that we've ever seen by one of our favorite theater companies in Houston, who sadly shuttered their doors not too long ago, and this was their final performance, and we're bringing it back because it's wonderful, and people who saw it, I think, would love to see it again. I think it's taken on a new relevance. It's about this. Bye, Tamarie.
He's coming back on.
Okay. It's about this thing that we all have in common. We're going to die. But it's really ultimately an uplifting night of theater. And we chose to do this partly to, well, largely to honor Horsehead Theater. And one of our favorite productions by them and by the incredible artists involved. Allie is wonderful, and her band is terrific. And J.C. Little, who's a great director, directed this. And so we're bringing back the Horsehead team to remount this, but in an outdoor setting where we can be very safe. And I'd say too, we were like a couple of weeks away, I think, from announcing our next season in a theater when all of this happened. Right. And that was also a season filled with original work that we're very excited to produce. I think at this point, we've got about 2 wonderful seasons ready to go. Once it's safe to do so, again, if it ever is. And so we're ready to go with this other stuff, but we really had, you know, we didn't want to promise people or tell people we're going to do this and postpone it. And, you know, our priority is health and safety, your health and safety. If you're in our audience, our artists' health and safety. We might be the last ones to come back to an indoor theater because this is, you know, more important than theater, more important than art, right? You know, certainly your lives, your well-being is our priority.
So there's lots of love for We're Gonna Die in the chat. We do have one question that I would also like to know. Are there any pics of Jason in a unitard that we can send for the archives? That's from Mary Manning.
I do have pictures of him in a Batman costume. there's some of those from one of our galas. So that we do have, but not just a full-on unitard.
Yeah, you're never gonna get that. That's not gonna happen.
I was gonna say I have one that would fit you if you wanted it.
I used to wear Richard's Captain America costume too.
Yeah,
that has fake muscles built in. You know, if we can do it that way, all right.
Fake muscles, or it could just be painted like Noel had his Skeletor unitard, and it had big muscles painted on it. You know, Noel Ballard is a wonderful actor who will be part of the drama squad this season, and is in the Tamarie quarantine edition as well. He has worn more unitards than any person in the history of Infernal Bridegroom and Catastrophic Theatre. It is true. He is willing to go there because he wore them in as Skeletor. He wore them as Captain Fear. And of course, his wonderful role in Catastrophic's production of Flevin, where he was the villainous Flame.
And I think the first time that he did it was when he played Papa Smurf in Tamarie.
You know, actually, the first time he played Papa Smurf, he was painted blue.
That's right.
It was no unitard. It was just his flesh, all blue. And then the second time, you're right, we did unitard him. So yeah, we got lots of good stuff coming up. We're busy, which is
we also
an odd
have
thing.
Leap. Don't forget Leap is Leap in the Net.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we started off the pandemic as we were preparing and coming up with ideas and creating this new content. We didn't want to just be dark. So we were lucky enough to be able to present some of our archived works in case some people had missed them or they'd seen them before, but were curious to see them again. We are fortunate that we have really good relationships with some of our playwrights. And so we were able to get permission quite easily to share the work. And coming up, we will also be sharing Hannah Porter's wonderful production of Leap and the Net Will Appear. That is in collaboration with Cinema Arts Society. And when is that first starting, Shayna? August 20?
So we'll start streaming Leap and the Net Will Appear next Friday, August 21st.
That's right.
And
we're going to have a special talk back with Hannah, the playwright, and Tara Aminimajad, the director, and some of us actors that were in it. We're going to all hang out and have a big Q&A sort of fun reunion party that we hope everybody will tune into as well. That's on the 26th.
I would like to just say we produced the co-production sort of rolling world premiere with New George's Theater in New York, who are wonderful. This play is as good of an example of what Catastrophic exists to do, I think, as any other. It's a really beautiful, hilarious, extraordinarily moving and intrepid and exciting play. And the artists that we worked with were just terrific, from Hannah and Tara to the cast and crew.
And
So
Andrew
really
Lynch, wonderful composer that composed all the music and played it in this production as well that you'll see. Yeah, it was so much fun to do. I remember when we got the play, just to read through it, that our first reaction was just like a cartoon where your eyes pop out of your head, you know? We were like, this is a Catastrophic Theater play. And Jeff had the same response too. We gotta do this. So yeah, and of course I get to play like my Jewish grandfather. So I'm playing my dad really essentially in that play. It's one of my favorite roles I've ever had. And then we've done more of Hannah's work since then too. And we will hope to continue a relationship with Hannah Porter. And everybody should get Hannah's book too, The Seat. She also just in her spare time between plays and other things decided to write a really cool science fiction novel. So get that too, everybody. I am just hawking everything today.
Shayna, how's the chat going?
Chat's a going. We've got one question. Will the drama squad shows be kid friendly?
Yes, more so than usual for us, for sure. This will not be the Tamarie Cooper show in your front yard because we might get arrested. So we are aiming to keep the volume at a reasonable level and the swear words in our pocket. I can't say that it will be children's theater, and your children might be bored by some of the subject matter, but we will update that as the pieces are being put together. But yeah, I'm purposefully, with it being more of a public setting, have been steering our artists towards creating something that would not fall into the lewd and crude category.
So we'll do that. And Tamarie said we'll be, kid friendly. I don't think the kids are going to be bored. I think there are so many different types of performance, and it's going to be really exciting, as sort of rushing into your neighborhood and also they're not getting to be outside seeing performance or having this.
I guess I'm just imagining the teenager that's like, oh, God, Mom, what do you want me to come watch? But hopefully they won't all have that teenage angst-ridden attitude.
We do all right with a lot of those teenagers.
Yeah. Are there any more questions, Shayna?
I don't see any more questions. So maybe if we want to do a last call.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So let's see.
Nobody wants to know anything racy. All right, this was your chance, people.
Maybe last call too for anyone that might be watching right now in the chat to let us know what sort of work you're most excited by.
Yeah.
What format. We also didn't talk about the fact that Tamarie and Tim, our wonderful video and film guy, is creating 3 shows this year, which between the one that we're in the middle of right now, and then there are going to be 2 more. And Tamarie's shows are traditionally our most popular shows. So we're very excited about these, to have 3 original musicals put together by Tamarie and friends. But maybe you could let us know what you'd like to see. No promises, but we're interested.
There's a slight delay, so I'll wait and see if anything comes in. Just comment, no questions, but thanks and stay safe. So
You too.
Will do, and
Yep.
you too. That's the most important thing. Yeah, I don't really see anything else. So
Vote.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, go vote.
Oh, and vote.
Maybe
Yes.
don't mail in if you got a mail-in ballot, you might need to just go ahead and take that somewhere to turn it in. There's lots of information now on the interwebs about this.
Well, thanks
Support the post
everyone
office.
for support the post office, vote, and thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. And we look forward to seeing you next season, either outside or this way. Yes. Okay. Have a good Saturday. Enjoyable.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
And I'm going to stop the live